Coming up, this oddball airplane gets some of the best aviation images. Flying around the world in a V-tail, a dad and a daughter get their seaplane rating together. And you've seen the Red Bull air races, but these ain't no pylons will surf a wind farm. AOPA Live this week begins in just a moment.
It's been called the most sophisticated single-engine airplane ever, but to the people whose loved ones are alive today, it's called a lifesaver. The Cirrus Airframe Parachute System, only from Cirrus Aircraft.
It's one for the record books, according to Sun 'n Fun. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tom Haynes. Melissa, she's off this week. We'll have a look back at Sun 'n Fun in just a few minutes. But first, we're still stuck in a Florida state of mind. And one Florida-based aircraft company lets you see it in a unique way. AirCam creates some of the most beautiful photography and video in the industry. AOPA's Dave Hirschman takes us behind the scenes of an AirCam video shoot.
From waterfall flybys in Costa Rica to sunset passes over the Everglades to splashdowns in the turquoise water of the Caribbean, the videos that AirCam produces are visual feasts.
We try and produce videos that put you in the front seat of the AirCam and get you as close to that experience as possible.
AirCam founder Phil Lockwood and his team put more time and effort into video production and aerial photography than any other general aviation manufacturer. Lockwood's background is a unique combination of photography and aviation.
I love light, I love pictures, I love video.
In the 1980s, Lockwood flew extensively with Emmy-winning wildlife photographers Desmond and Jennifer Bartlett. He traveled with them to Africa to film the migration of elephants in the Namibian desert.
I could see what they were after, and I could help them position the airplane quickly and efficiently to get the shot that they wanted.
In the late 1990s, National Geographic commissioned Lockwood to build the first AirCam.
I really longed for an airplane that would enable me to fly open with that incredible visibility, low, and have an out, have redundancy.
Today, more than 200 kit-built AirCams have been registered and flown, and videos are an essential part of AirCam's efforts to market and sell its airplanes.
I feel like the demo ride is the best selling tool that we have in an AirCam. And I think that the video is the next best thing. I think we can put the AirCam owners, or the potential AirCam owners, right there.
Setting up an AirCam for a video flight is a complicated task. Even relatively simple GoPro cameras are placed in specialized foam-padded boxes to reduce vibration. A wing mount consists of a heavy-duty aluminum cylinder about 7 feet long that resembles mount with an aluminum plate at the top of the wing produces a dramatic over-the-shoulder perspective. The most awkward and complex mount is a multi-camera platform that fits over the nose of the airplane like a fiberglass mask. It has an aluminum shelf for a forward-looking camera. It also has mounts for a direct aft-facing camera and an aft-facing offset camera. Each arm is braced with aluminum struts and aviation-grade bolts and fasteners. Getting the cameras mounted perfectly is a painstaking process. It often takes hours to prep for each flight because Lockwood's goal is perfection. After each flight, Lockwood and his team pore over the results on a 49-inch 4K monitor to look for flaws.
That attention to detail is what's going to give you great results.
And that's what it takes to convey the essence of what flying is all about.
So if a picture's worth 1,000 words, a great video is probably worth 5,000 words. And so that's what we're doing, and it works.
Dave Hirschman, AOPA Live.
Thanks, Dave. And if photography is your thing, we want to hear from you. Well, see, really. We've got an aviation photo contest, and we want your entries. Your shot could score you some sweet gear. There are 3 categories: aircraft, places, or people. You send in your photos. Our AOPA pilot experts will whittle them down to 3 finalists in each category. Then we'll open it up for public vote. The winners get some cool stuff.
Finalists will receive some AOPA swag, so a hat and a t-shirt courtesy of our Pilot Gear store. Grand prize winners of each category will also receive one of the new Faro G3 carbon fiber headsets with Bluetooth, as well as a nice AOPA backpack.
You can find all the rules and get started at aopa.org/photo contest. The photo contest and AirCam story are all part of the May photography issue of AOPA Pilot magazine. We go behind the lens of pro aviation photographers. There's also recommended photo gear and a look back at iconic aviation images. Look for it in your mailbox or email box soon. As we record this, the Senate is close to voting on ending debate on the FAA reauthorization bill. That's called cloture, but that's more inside baseball than you want to know. Bottom line is that stands now, the bill has a lot of things we like, including medical reform. The Senate would like to get this done soon and back over to the House. Meanwhile, Bonanza expert Adrian Eichhorn is taking the trip of a lifetime. He just set off for a trip around the world in his modified Bonanza.
And I'm not trying to set any records to be the oldest or the youngest or any speed records or anything like that. It's just to use this as an event to learn and to share that with other people.
Adrian spent the last 4.5 years restoring and modifying the airplane. With the large tip tanks, he can carry 270 gallons of usable fuel. Adrian is planning to share his adventure at the AOPA fly-in in Beaufort, North Carolina on May 21st. Hope to see you there. And while one Earth rounding continues, another one has come to a stop for now. Congressman Steve Pearce of New Mexico has been trying to fly around the world. According to KOB TV, Pearce has been trying to break the record for time around the world solo in a single-engine airplane. He left March 27th from Las Vegas, according to reports. The trip was a secret due to security concerns for the congressman. The station reports that Pearce stopped in Spain and came back to D.C. via the airlines to get back to work on the Hill. No word when he will finish that trip. When you go to buy aeronautical charts in the future, you may find that they may be cheaper. The FAA announced that they're moving chart printing to private companies this summer. The price for the charts will then be determined by the market instead of set by the FAA. The move will also allow the FAA to focus on other projects. AOPA is working with the FAA and potential printers to ensure a smooth transition. And AOPA has also been working with the FAA on the amount of approved aviation training device, or sim time, that can be used for instrument training. The FAA published a new rule which allows pilots getting their instrument ratings to count 20 hours of approved simulator time instead of 10. AOPA believes simulator training has a number of safety benefits and it makes training more affordable. The new rule was strongly advocated by AOPA and the flight training industry. Well, coming up after the break, families that fly together, a father-daughter seaplane rating, and the stakes are high for this Red Bull stunt, weaving the wind farm. You're watching AOPA Live this week. Welcome back. Engine failures are rare, but the Air Safety Institute wants to make sure you're prepared nonetheless. They released a new video called Engine Out: From Trouble to Touchdown. The video shows how to plan a specific strategy for an engine failure at any altitude. Also talks about how to help prevent engine failures. You can find the video at airsafetyinstitute.org. Thank you to all of you who joined us from Sun and Fun last week. We enjoyed the chance to meet many of you in person. The final numbers haven't been released yet, but Sun and Fun officials say there are around 200,000 visitors from over 60 countries at the event. And at Sun and Fun, we sometimes see new airplanes, and occasionally there are new old airplanes. That's the case with Airdrome Airplanes. They're a kit company that will sell you what you need to make a range of designs from the very early era, including the Fokker. This airplane was built surprisingly fast.
Well, everybody has a passion, I think, for something, and mine just specifically antique airplanes. And the older the better, basically. You know, we build everything from a 1909 wing warping Blériot, and the newest thing I've ever built is a 1918, this Newport or a Fokker D8 here.
And tell me about this airplane. You built it in a pretty quick time frame.
Yeah, this particular airplane was built in 30 days. We worked on it for several years, thinking about it, you know, doing some fixtures and drawings and this and that. But from the day we actually cut the first piece of metal till the airplane was complete, it was 30 days.
You can see the rest of the 100-plus-year-old offerings at airdromeairplanes.com. And while Florida is a family-friendly aviation hotspot, you don't always hear about families aviating together. AOPA Live's Paul Harrop has the story of one of our fellow staff members who earned her sea wings along with her dad.
Kelly Keller grew up in aviation.
She had an interest in airplanes from the earliest days.
Her dad, Bill McClure, made sure of it.
Well, my first stop home from the hospital after being born was actually to the airport, so Dad could show me the airplane.
And flying became an important part of family trips.
But I always enjoyed, you know, hopping in the airplane with Dad, you know, whether it was going to breakfast, flying out to Oshkosh, camping at Oshkosh. Any of those family trips we took were centered around aviation.
Bill is retired from the Air Force and the airlines. He's got more ratings than you can shake a stick at. Kelly is an avid stick and rudder pilot and works for AOPA. But there's one thing neither of these flying family members hold.
Well, Dad had actually expressed that he was going to get his seaplane rating, that he wanted to come down here for a little bit and get his seaplane rating. So luckily my mom decided to drop a hint that, you know, maybe this could be a father-daughter experience. So thanks, Mom, for doing that. And obviously I jumped at the opportunity.
So the pair head to Jack Brown's Seaplane Base in Winter Haven, Florida, and work on their sea wings together.
Some fathers and daughters go fishing, some go hunting, you know, some have their activities. We have flying. You know, that's what we've done to spend time with each other and do something that a lot of people don't get to do.
Most people will tell you earning a seaplane rating is a ton of fun, but for Bill and Kelly, it means so much more that they're doing it together.
It's gratifying for me as a father to have Kelly be that interested in something that I've loved all my life.
Paul Harrop, AOPA Live.
What a great story. Congratulations to both of you. Good to see different generations bonding over flying. Now let's file this under Do Not Try This at Home. Red Bull Air Race pilot Hannes Ark is weaving through one of the world's highest wind farms. The 14 turbines are high in the mountains of Austria, right near where Ark grew up. He always wanted to fly through them, and it looks like he had some fun doing it. Again, don't try this in your Skyhawk. Well, that's it for this edition of AOPA Live this week. I'm Tom Haynes. Melissa will be back next week. I'll be joining you from Aero Friedrichshafen in Germany. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.